I had been a very successful businessman in my life. I started very early and I managed to acquire 6 companies along the way. In one of my branches alone, I had 50 employees, I had 50 vehicles, an exceptional structure. However, I was a failure in one area of my life, my love life. I had been married 3 times and had 3 relationships, but everything started wrong in my life. My first relationship became the mother of my son. We had a relationship for 5 years. She was older than I, and I didn't have life experience. Things went badly for me. Then, I met another person. We had a relationship for 12 years. During that time, I fornicated, betraying her constantly, and lived a dissolute life. In fornication and everything that was wrong, I did. I used to do bingo with women. It seems like a joke, but we did that. I had a country house, and I used to take prostitutes there. I went to brothels constantly. I separated from that woman after 12 years, and then I got into a relationship with a cool girl. She was very young, 20 years younger than me. I got involved with her in an astonishing way. I paid for her university, gave her a brand new car, and everything she asked for, I gave. We traveled a lot together. But I started doing something very wrong, neglecting my financial life. Whilst living that life, at a certain moment, I realized that I had driven my company into the ground. I realized that my house had fallen down. Here, this book shows a time when I had only a branch of the company left, with debts of around £1.4 million. What was left from a successful businessman was a man riding a bus. I traveled from a town to get to my branch, which was in another town, by bus. My name was referred to the credit reference agencies, CRAs. I only had a flat left. It only had space for me to put a sofa bed in so I could sleep.
The pages of your life had only gotten worse.
It only got worse, and things were only getting more complicated because I started suffering from a chronic health problem. I had chronic psoriasis, where my skin was covered in rashes. One day, I was driving on the motorway and said to myself, "It's enough. I will end this now. I've decided." So I pressed my foot down on the accelerator so hard that the truck tires made a hissing noise. I did not see anything else. The only thing I noticed was that the truck had its engine on, parked on the hard shoulder, and I was sitting there crying. When I ended my relationship with this cool girl, I went to the church. It was an unusual moment because I was invited by a friend. He asked, "Come to a seminar with me." When we arrived at the seminar, I realized it was at the Universal Church. I sat there listening to the word that the man of God said from the altar. He said a word, and that seed entered me in such a way that I understood that I had to abandon the old man. Therefore, I started quitting everything. I abandoned things in a natural way and sought in the Word, asked the justice of God for my life, and kept working on myself. So, here is the empty book. I decided, I resolved to take a new direction in my life until it came to the point where I truly received the Holy Spirit. When I received the Holy Spirit, there came an indescribable joy in my soul, such a peace that it is the best present I could receive in my life. I did not deserve it. I was able to organize my life where I cleared my name. Throughout this period, as I mentioned, from all the losses and the new beginning, amidst all of this and the new start, a key piece was missing: my love life. During this period, I remained alone for 12 years whilst in the church. I lacked someone, a partner by my side to help me. There came a moment in my life when I had to make a decision. I can no longer be alone. So I started attending the love therapy. I started doing a vow at the therapy and took it seriously. I understood what I had to do, and at the same time, I took care of my heart, of the treatment and the word. I asked God to make justice in my life. I began to demand insistently and act on my faith, so God would prepare this person for me. I came from Campinas to attend the meetings at the Temple of Solomon. I stayed at a hotel in Morumbi. And then I went to the meetings thinking, who knows, she might be here, right? Maybe this princess, the day I meet her, she will not escape from me. It was at a love therapy meeting in Rio de Janeiro. Anywhere there was a love therapy meeting, if I felt drawn to go, I would go. There was no shyness about it because I had to put myself out there, right? But still, nothing. I wouldn't find anyone. It was just a dead end. But wasn't there anyone inside your church? Of course, there were women of God there, but none of them had the characteristics I was looking for. That was until I understood that the way to solve this would be through sacrifice. That's when the campaign of Israel came. The campaign of Israel played a huge part in this journey. Because when I went up on the altar, crying out to God for justice, for Him to truly respond to what I'd been praying for, at that moment, when I laid my sacrifice on the altar, I was already 53 years old. And when I made the decision to go to the altar and ask for God's justice in my life, in my love life, something happened that was truly unexpected. I say unexpected because the pastor at the time called me to the altar and said, "Come here." And there on the big screen, "I Want to Know You" was playing. I was looking at the photos and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "They are interesting women, but how does this work?" He asked, "May I help you?" And it was the same pastor who, in the past, told me he'd get me married. After the photos, I got a call. The person said to me, "Did you see my photo?" I didn't understand anything at first. I was a bit lost. I thought I've just had a call from someone. Then I got in touch with Pastor Andre, and he said to me, "Look, she's an assistant from Paraná, and she'd like to talk to you." So I arranged to meet her in Ponta Grossa. That evening, we sat down to have a pizza. We talked, but I also laid everything on the table. I said, "Look, I'm like this, and like this. This man you're looking at has done this, and that." I laid it all bare. I told her about my past mistakes, fully open, fully transparent, because I learned in the love therapy that one of the qualities we men of God must have is transparency. You can't leave anything in the shadows. I asked her, "Are you ready to sacrifice?" She said, "I am." But you know, when you just feel secure in what the person says. And I was apprehensive. If she says anything that goes against what I expect, I'll return on the next flight home. I won't stay here.
So, Mr. Valdesir, did that chair remain empty or was it filled?
That chair was filled with a wonderful woman by my side.
Tell us, Fatima.
Well, Pastor, I came to the Universal Church very young. I was already married when I arrived. I came from a 25-year relationship. And when that marriage ended, because of cheating on his part, I became a lost coin. I needed to heal, and it was through the love therapy seminars that I was healed, that I was restored. There was a program on TV at the time called I Want to Know You, because we didn't have the app that we have today. Then came the campaign of Israel. After taking part in the campaign, I recorded my I Want to Know You video, and it was through that video that I met my husband. My name is Fatima. I'm 46 years old. I live in the city of Ponta Grossa in Paraná. I'm a businesswoman. I want to start my life over alongside someone who shares the same goals as me, which is to date, to get engaged, to marry for life.
And there she was, up on the screen. I looked from a distance and thought, interesting, huh?
I'd like him to be between 47 and 60 years old. And the only objective I have in regard to his appearance is that I like chubby men.
Today, the book is complete. Here are some pictures from our civil wedding. We had the privilege of getting married in the Temple of Solomon during the marriage celebration. And here is my precious jewel. Because, as I said, the altar is perfect in every way. The love therapy is something else entirely. It's a meeting I've never given up on since the beginning.
It's the foundation.
It's the foundation of everything.
Because it teaches you. We didn't have many problems. Normally when a couple get married, they face a lot of differences. But our differences were very few because we learned so much from the love therapy.
Today's singles have so many options. I didn't have that
But you
privilege.
came from the early days of I want to know you, didn't you?
I come from the I want to know you. Today, there's an app, there are seminars, there's the love school, there's everything available. There's even the love walk. There's no excuse. The fact is, the love therapy breaks through.